Welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Whistle. The topic of this week's video is screens. Screens are a huge part of today's game. Well over 100 screens can be set in one game on any given night. Screens are, of course, subject to several rules and guidelines. Let's look at a few plays and apply the appropriate rule to each. On this play, green 11 sets a screen on moving defender white 55. Rule 435(3)(c) says that a screener shall not take a position so close to a moving opponent that his opponent cannot avoid contact by stopping or changing direction. Green 11 does not meet the guidelines on this play, and he is correctly called for an illegal screen. Mechanically, this is a two-referee play. The center is in good position, while the trail needs to adjust his position towards midcourt to get an open look at the screen. On this transition play, blue 23 sets a screen on moving defender white 1. Like the previous play, 23 does not give number 1 enough time to stop or change direction. This is an illegal screen, but was incorrectly no-called by the crew. Transition plays can be challenging because the crew is spread. All three crew members must be aware of the situation and be ready to assist with the coverage. On this transition play, the trail is well behind the play and needs to work hard to get an open angle. Having awareness of the situation, the center and lead should extend their coverage early in the sequence to see the screen developing. And when the illegal contact occurs, either one can help by calling the illegal screen. White 23 sets a screen on red 0. Although 23 is set at impact, once again, the defender does not have time to stop or change direction. Also note 23's wide stance. Rule 435 Article 2 limits a screen's feet to be no wider than shoulder width apart. 23's stance is clearly outside shoulder width on the play, and he is correctly called for an illegal screen by the trail official. This screen is a textbook two-referee play, with each official working his side of the screen. Officials are trained to be aware of the screens that are developing and get to the screen early in the sequence and well before contact. As the highlights illustrate, the center is a little late getting to the screen. The longer a referee is on a play, on or off the ball, the better chance he or she has of getting the play right. Orange 11 prepares to set a screen. However, before there is contact with the opponent, 11 cuts to the basket. In the process of cutting to the basket, he runs into on-ball defender white 23, who is actively defending red 15 on the play. Even though he is no longer setting a screen, 11 is responsible for the contact with white 23 and is correctly called for an illegal screen. This type of action is becoming more common in our game. Officials are trained to referee the screen first and stay with that play until its conclusion. Good job by the crew on this play. The final play for this week is a review of a very common play in college basketball, the dribble handoff, or DHO. On a typical DHO, the ball handler can act as a screener when he passes or flips the ball to a teammate. On this play, white 15 does not come to a stop after passing the ball to his teammate. He runs through on-ball defender blue 55 and is correctly called for an illegal screen. Players with and without the ball are subject to the same rules and restrictions when setting screens on opposing players. Nice job by the trail official, who puts himself in perfect position to see the play. As evidenced by these plays, screens come in many different forms. Officials should be aware of a team's offensive sets while understanding the defensive scheme on any given offensive sequence. They are trained to see plays developing, get to the screens early in the sequence, know their coverage responsibility, and referee the screen until its conclusion. When all that happens, we have a pretty good chance of getting the play right. Thanks for watching this week's video. We'll see you next time. Have a great week, everyone.